Hello. This story is called The Unwanted Passenger. In a fractured weave of realities with timeline branched like veins in an infinity cosmic body, there exists a being named Eloa. She wasn't born of flesh and blood as we know it. Her form was woven from the internal threads of light and shadow, a native of the Lumina dimension, a place where existence flow in harmony cycles of pure energy. There, beings like Aloha drifted through vast numberlands of thought, sharing consciousness and silent symphonics, unbound by time or physical form. Life was internal flux without hunger, without conflict, without the crude necessary of matter. But one catastrophic rift changed everything. It began during a convergence, a rare alignment where dimensions brushed against one another like whispers in the void. Aurora, curious as her kind often were, ventured too close to the barrier. A surge of unstable energy tore through the veil, ripping her from her home and hurling her across the multiverse gulf. When the chaos subsided, she woke up not in Lumina, but here in this dimension, our dimension, trapped. The transition was agony. Her internal body condensed forcefully into something solid, something wrong. Skin, bones, weight, gravity pulled at her like chains. Time marched forward in a relentless linear march, taken away in seconds and hours, eroding everything it touched. She stumbled into a world of concrete cities, roaring machines, and fragile creatures obsessed with possession and survival. At first, Laura tried to adapt. She wandered the streets of a bustling metropolis, invisible at the ages of society. People hurried past her, eyes glued to glowing rectangles in their palms, chattering about trivias, jobs, money, fleeting pleasures. In Lumina, there was no such division, no mine or yours, no heretic of power. Knowledge flowed freely, existence was shared. Here everything was hoarded, fought over, and wasted. Basically, the old attitude, what is yours is mine, and I'm going to take what is mine. Amazes me how many people live life by that. She became an outcast by necessary. Her attempts to connect failed spectacularly. When she spoke, her voice carried echoes of multidimensional harmonics, words that bend minds, causing listeners to clench their heads in pain or flee in terror. What are you? They screamed. Demon! Alien! She learned quickly to stay silent, to observe from shadows. Aloha's haunted public transport, the subways, buses, trains, places teeming with the rushing souls of this war. She rode endlessly, an unwanted passenger on the great machine of human progress. No ticket, no destination, just endless loops through tunnels and tracks. She watched families argue over nothing, lovers part in tears, strangers ignore one another's suffering. This dimension's lifestyle was a grotesque paradox, being trapped in decaying body, chasing illusions of happiness and material trapping, all while this precious time drizzled to nothing. Centuries passed in her perception, or was it mere decades? Time linear blurred her sense of it. She grew resentful. Why this crude prison? Why force her into a form that hungers, tired, aged? She knew the elegance of a lost home. Infinity renewal, unity without loneliness. Here she was alone among billions, a ghost in the crowd. Attempts to return failed. She clawed at thin spots in reality, alleys where the air shimmered, moments of deja vu where timelines lapped. But the rift has sealed. She was stuck, an anomaly the universe refused to reject. One night on the rain slick train hurtling through the dark, Alora sat in the corner of a crowded car. Passengers ignored her, as always. A young man across from her fiddled with his device, Ovilus. He leaned forward, whispered in her harmonic tone, "Why do you endure this? Release the chains, join the flow." His head snapped up, eyes widened in horror as he glimpses of Lumina flooded his mind. Vast, beautiful, terrifying in its alienness. He screamed, clenching his ears. The train erupted in panic. Doors opened at the next stop. People fled. Alora remained seated as the car emptied, alone again. She was the unwanted passenger, just not on this train, but in this entire timeline. An outcast forever, bearing witness to a lifestyle she could never embrace, yearning for a dimension that might never reclaim her. And in the quiet hum of the emptying wells, she wondered, was this punishment, accident, or something worse? A deliberate stranding to make her understand the reality of what she's lost? The train lurched forward into the night, carrying its internal rider deeper into the unwanted world. Well, I would hate that. Being part of a world, not really being part, being an outcast. That is lonely. Let me know. Thank you.